pour poursuivre devant les instances nationales et internationales compétentes.
The drum of war continues to linger around, and a lot of people are saying that Nigeria should not involve themselves in the affairs of Niger, because you cannot be angry more than the bereaved. You can't. You can't be angry more than the aggrieved. You can't. Now, we learned that the military who took over Niger has decided to put a 3-year transition plan, and Ecowas is not part of it. They refuse. You know, one of the most interesting thing here is that these people know they are already failing out. So they want to do everything possible to make sure that they don't allow General Abdurrahman Tashina, that is the military leader, the junta leader, to make any decision for Niger that will favor them. They just want the Ecowas decision to continue to prevail, because once Ecowas decision is being made, then the European countries will keep stealing resources from Africa. Now, it will be recalled that the coup leader, General Abdurrahmani Tashane, had at a meeting with Ecowas delegation led by General Abdulsalami Abubakar in Niamey on Saturday, promised the military government would return Niger Republic to democracy in 3 years. So this is their problem. They feel that him staying in power for 3 years may cause more problem for them in the Ecowas. Abdel Fattah Musa, Ecowas Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, told BBC in an interview yesterday that the proposal was unacceptable to Ecowas, setting the ground for a military operation. Meanwhile, thousands of Nigerians flooded the streets yesterday declaring support for the military junta. Their demonstration came against the backdrop of ECOWAS' insistence on invading the country to rout out culpists should diplomacy fail to restore outdated President Mohamed Bazoum to power. The rally came on a day of an official of the government in Niger said talks between the ECOWAS delegation led by former head of state General Abdulsalami Abubakar and the junta achieved very little result. The official also noted that already there are deep divisions within the presidential guard, which outed President Bazoum, saying should ECOWAS launch an attack on Niger Republic, the majority of the soldiers in the presidential complex would flee. This is even as Pope Francis yesterday canvassed a diplomatic solution to the political crisis. I want to really pick a point from this very news that I'm just reading, that why is everybody, both the United Nations, interested in curbing the military coup that happened in Niger? And even though that they are saying that they have to wait to correct some certain things for 3 years before transiting power to a civilian president, and ECOWAS is rejecting it. ECOWAS is trying everything possible to stop this very movement that has been started by the General Salamani. So ECOWAS is a very big corrupt organization who is helping the Western countries like France, US, UK to carry out some kind of corrupt mining in Africa. We see how anywhere that the US touches and they touch, they just create this kind of there's this kind of terrorism we begin to feel in a country. Almost all the African countries are going through terrorism. Almost all the African countries who are rich in mineral resources are going through terrorism. And you know what they do? Instead of them to leave the country in a better way, just look at Afghanistan. Look at what happened at Afghanistan. Instead of them to leave the country in a better way so that the people will see food and eat, they will now, after stealing what they are stealing, they will now leave the country in the hands of the terrorists after claiming that they came to restore peace. Ah, hey, we do not understand what is coming though. And the demonstrators chanted slogans hostile to former colonial power France, and especially Ecowas, which is considering a potential military operation to reinstate elected President Mohamed Bazoum if ongoing negotiation with coup leaders fail. So every meeting they try to meet with the military head of state, it fails. General Abdurrahmani has failed to, give any positive effects on the meetings he had with the ECOWAS, and this is already making them frustrated. The demonstrators waved placards saying stop the military intervention and no to sanctions, in reference to the financial and trade restrictions imposed by ECOWAS 4 days after the coup on July 26. Yesterday, pro-coup rally was accompanied by musicians praising the new military regime, according to AFP. The latest in a string of pro-coup rallies came a day after the new military ruler Inami warned that an attack on Niger would not be a walk in the park. So they should understand that once they start this war, it's not going to stop easily. Of course, you know that France will supply you with all the military equipment you need, but they will never supply you their soldiers. Even though they want to give you their soldiers, they may just give you few. Maybe your plane will be flown by the francophone government, but they can't risk their soldiers because of some black people. That's just the truth. So General Abdurrahmani also said in a televised address at the weekend that he did not wish to confiscate power and that a transition of power back to civilian will not go beyond 3 years. Africa needs to be fixed. People are crying and saying that things are not going well. Africa needs to be fixed. Because if Africa is fixed, then people will no longer have any reason to take over a government that is not working or a government that is working. So whoever that is going to this war should understand that the only reason the France will support is because their business factories are being threatened. So they can do anything. If they so wish, they can just drop missile just to go in and take what is helping their people. They don't see, these guys don't care. Some kind of common black people who are there. You should come and sit down at the same table and negotiate with a black man. They don't really care. Well, it's going to be a long day. But every military interference, every meeting that Ecowas want to have with General Abdullah Samani is no longer working. But let's see how the drum of war continues to go. Thanks for supporting the Future News. Peace.